Hey everyone, today we're going to be reviewing the 2004 Ver.Ka Wing Gundam Endless Waltz Edition. This is just going to be a plain build with no panel lining and no decals, except for a couple decals as you can see right here as I come in. There's two on the shoulder guns, and then there's a little bit of panel lining on the ears and on the wing. We're just going to start off with the coloring accuracies. So we're just gonna, let me take these wings off just to make it a little bit easier. I'll actually start off with the wing because it only has one. So if we look right under this yellow piece right here, so this little strip of white that comes under it, and if you can see it, that's supposed to be gray on the actual model. I'll show a picture of what the actual model is supposed to look like just in the middle right here. I'll have it for a little bit and then I'll go back to this. But I just have it in the middle so you guys can see what they're supposed to look like from the official artwork. And we'll go back to it. That's about it on the wings though. It's just supposed to be gray on that little slot. And then if we go to right here, if you can see this little square bit right here where it's indented on the foot, that's supposed to be gray as well. And then if we go to the side of the foot on the ankle, right under this white piece, if you can see that little like darkish gray, that's supposed to be white there as well. So it's not the biggest color inaccuracies. That's pretty much it, except if you want to count the inner frame as well. Like this inner frame, if in real life it looks very brown. On camera it looks gray and it's supposed to be gray, but just so you know that in real life all of these like inner frame pieces are going to be very brown. So if you don't like that, then I guess if you don't like it. I will say for stickers, it doesn't really rely on stickers that much. It only has about 5 total stickers for the entire kit. There's one right here for the wing gem. There's 2, one for each arm for this little cuff piece, like wrist gauntlet. Obviously, there's one for the eyes, and then there's 2 for the head cameras right here. And that's pretty much it for stickers. I'll actually show the decal and on the both decal sheets that you get with this set, and it's just gonna be this. So this is the dry decals that comes with this set. Personally, I don't really like wings, the Wing Gundam decals. I might actually put these on because I do like the lettering. But yeah, like personally, I really dislike these type of decals for like any type of kit. Honestly, it's just very boring and it's very monotonous, because I like with these what's it called, the 3.0 MG 3.0 RX. I just like how it looks on the model kit, and it looks very, I don't know, I feel like it pops out a lot more. Maybe it's just because it's a little bit more militaristic, but personally I don't really like the wing decal, so I probably won't put them on. If I get the Wing Zero, I definitely will, just because it looks so cool. But yeah. So overall, the kit is pretty color accurate out of box. So you're not really missing out on too much in the color department if you buy this one. So next we'll just go into the build experience. The build experience was pretty easy, honestly. Like it was very, very chill. If you wanted to, you could probably, even as I feel like a novice would probably build this in about 1 day, because in all honesty, it just feels like a upscaled high grade. Because if I show you the polycaps, because it uses a lot of polycaps, if you look right here, there are a plethora of polycaps used in here. So it is very, very beginner friendly, very cost friendly too. It's like I got it for about $40, I think, and I think that was only like $5 on sale either way. So it's about a $40 kit. So it's like, it's just a upscaled high grade, if that's the only description I had to give to it. Very easy. I think I got this done in about like half a day, maybe less than an afternoon. So really easy. I definitely recommend this for anyone who's trying to get a cheap master grade and doesn't want to spend too much time on it. Because I haven't actually built the newer master grade Wing Gundams with these wings. The Endless Waltz version. I actually haven't built those yet, but I think those are better, and I'll show you why I think those are probably going to be better when I get to the articulation. So yeah. Accessory wise, this kit is It's about like the average Wing Gundam you're gonna see in accessories. So you're gonna get both of these refill packets, which they clip on very easily. So if you look right here, there's like a little stem that pokes out right there. And then if you look on the arm, there's a little hole right here. And then if you just put it in there, I'm not gonna put it on because it's kind of a hassle to take off. But if you just stick it in there, it sticks in. So it's very easy. You can actually have one of these refill packets with the shield on at the same time. Oh, and mind you, there is a stem here. I lost it in the box because I forgot to find it after I got the after I transformed it earlier. So yeah, there is a stem piece and it just wraps around the arm. So it's pretty easy to put on. But yeah, you can actually have this and the shield on at the same time. It just looks pretty weird. From what I remember, the shield is gonna be either like this or it's gonna be like this on the side with the refill packet on the side over here. So if you like that, personally, I don't really like it all too much, but I know some people do. Some people like having their kits be very, very extra, I guess, if you want to say. But yeah, so personally, I don't like it. If we come here to the Buster Rifle, I will talk about one of the flaws with this kit that comes with the Buster Rifle, because the Buster Rifle itself is actually it's like really good. It's obviously like I don't think there's anything too color inaccurate about it, except for these like energy rounds. I think these are supposed to be browner. But yeah, like anything else. Oh, there is one sticker, if you can see right here. That's a sticker, obviously. Yeah, so when we get to the articulation, I'll talk about a downside with this. And if you want, it kind of does affect the beam saber as well, but not as much, just because it's a much lighter accessory compared to the Buster Rifle. But overall, it's a very cool weapon, but as you'll see later, it's wasted on this kit. And then this is the beam saber. I really love Master Grade Beam, like the saber effect, like because it looks like a saber, like it curves out like that instead of just going straight up, like how every high grade is. And I really like this. I love it so much. And I wish they would have it in the high grade versions, but I don't think they would ever do that. So yeah, so overall, just a basic accessory you're gonna get with every single Wing Gundam, not too extravagant. Now we're gonna get into the articulation, and we'll just start from the feet up. So from the foot right here, it has a decent ankle swivel, so you can get it like that. And then on the other side, not too much. And then if you want, it actually does have a pretty good toe bend right here, and then not too much going up, just because I think this blocks it a little bit more. So if you want, that actually goes all the way down without having to move this, so you can get it like that. This moves obviously up and down, a little flap there. And then for the leg articulation, if we put this goes all the way up like that. Really good articulation right here. And this is like basically all polycaps. I wish I recorded the building process of it, but it's just pretty much all polycaps. It's pretty crazy that you can get this much articulation with it. And then you get this little swivel armor split right here. This is mainly for, I think, to help with the design of when you're transforming it. So yeah, I really love armor splits right here. I really love armor splits. They look so cool. Yeah, so that's what you're gonna get with that. And then if we go to the side skirting, this is completely autonomous of each other. So if you move one, the other will not move, like most master grades, or every master grade I think now. Then you get a little swivel action right here on the side skirts. You can actually move it 360, but it's kind of blocked. And this is, no, yeah, look at that, blocked right there. Right there, yep. And then you actually can't really move this all too much. If you can see, you really barely get any butt flap movement. You can actually move the side skirts up a little bit, up and down a little bit. So it's pretty decent. You're not getting too much, nothing too crazy, you know. Then we're gonna get to the arms. So the arms actually have pretty decent articulation as well. Like I feel like everything in this kit has pretty decent articulation. So you're gonna get a full elbow bend like that. And then obviously, since these are regular polycaps, you're gonna get that 360 rotation right there on the bicep joint. and this, you can move this up and down as well. On the shoulders, you can move this. You can move this like that. This is for when you're actually transforming the kit. So when you're transforming the kit, I'll try and show a time lapse if I can of what it looks like and how this plays into it. But yeah, so you can just move that like there. And then this red piece can move by itself as well, as you can see. And then we're gonna get to the hands. This is the main part I was talking about and why the Buster Rifle is kind of wasted on this kit. Obviously, you can't have a Wing Gundam without the Buster Rifle, but yeah, so let me show you. So I'll just show you the articulation of it first. So as you can see, the pinky ring and the middle finger are all connected together. So you will bend them all at the same time. And these don't have these don't have joint articulation like how some master grades have it, like on the MG, where like each finger joint can move on its own. This does not have that with any of its fingers. And as you can see, the index fingers is by itself, but it only goes like in this one pathway, only up and down. The thumb is it's on a ball joint, so you can move the thumb however you want. Again, doesn't have joint articulation, but this is also what I'm talking about. So as you can see, there is literally no peg on this hand. So if I were to put this Buster Rifle on this hand, it will just fall off. No matter what you do, unless you're using both hands to hold this Buster Rifle, it will not hold the Buster Rifle. So even if you wanted to have it down here, I've actually tried posing it like that before. If I have it like down, like just having it on the pointed down position, it will still flop down a bit. Just because if you look right here, there's just so much space that it's just so easy for the hands to get loose. And also, if you wanted to have it like a regular pose, like say if I wanted to have it 90 degrees, so there is a lot of space right there. Obviously, there's no peg to hold it in place. So, and also, when you're holding it, it has a tendency, even when the hands are fully closed, it will usually just open the hands up because the hands are just so loose. So, like again, like the set looks, like the kit looks really good. I really like the set or the kit. Ace is not good for posability, since you're not going to get the main weapon I feel like most people want to pose this kit with, which is the Buster Rifle. But you can actually hold the beam saber like perfectly, unless you want to do like a upside down pose or like if the beam saber is downwards, you cannot hold it like that just because it's going to fall out. So fair warning for that. Now let's get back to the articulation. So if you look at the shoulder turrets, it's kind of hard to open these actually. But yeah, you can just open these on both sides. I'll just open this one though. Actually, I'll open this one because there's supposed to be, I'm trying to show you. Yeah, if you can see inside, there's supposed to be turrets inside. I actually lost the turret for this right side. So that's why you're not seeing one for there. I'll show you the, oh yeah, this is it actually does, like this has really good articulation. I just wish these legs had better articulation, which I'll show right here. I actually forgot to show that earlier. So as you can see, you can't do a split. You can't do a full split. It's not because these side skirts are like blocking the way. If I'll show you now why. It's because of this type of joint. So because that the circle is like this, instead of like how most high grades and I think new master grades are now. So in new master grades, you'll get like a ball and then it'll have like a stem coming out. So, and then the ball will be able to like move independently. So it will kind of be like two stems and one ball. So I think it will be like one ball right here. Then the stem goes into the actual joint. And then there's another stem that connects that ball into the actual leg. So you can move, you can split, you can do splits, you can move it however you want. But because it's like this, where it's like a sphere inside, you can't move it that much. And especially with the fact that there's no adapter with this kit, you actually have to use a fork joint, which I'll show later in the video, which limits the range of articulation even more. So this kit, like, it is good that it's gonna be in the air most of the time, but it's just it's just kind of lame that you can't pose it all that well. Like you can't pose it with the Buster rifle. You can't get good leg articulation, except for like unless you're bending it. But you can't get too wide of a leg articulation. And you might think this is like decent enough for most poses, but you'll see when I put the fork in here, it will drastically decrease, and you won't get anything with it. So yeah, so that's just another nitpick right there. Or not even a nitpick. It's a very bad thing in here. Now I'll show you the ab crunch. So the ab crunch is pretty good, I feel like. You're gonna get that much. Like, look at that. You go all the way there. It actually goes back. Not at all. Whoa. It looks like it goes back a little bit more, but it does not really go that back. So pretty decent. Just average. And then the head up, down, sideways. It's not like you do get a little giggity from Quagmire. I do really like. I have the Owashu unit, the Akatsuki Gundam right above here. I'm not gonna move the camera though, but I have that. I always get used to its three jointed head, which is just so weird. But you actually do get pretty, it's just pretty decent down looking area. And then if we go to here, you can move this backpack a little bit, so you can go all the way down here. And this is for the, what is it called? The transformation, just specifically for the transformation, unless you just want to have it like this for poses, which I don't really see a point into it. So you can have it like that, move it all the way out like that. And it actually does lock into place right here. This locks into place right here. And then it actually locks into place there too as well. So yeah. And for the actual wing attachments, these little stems that come out, these move a little bit up and a little bit down. Pretty hard to move them. They're pretty tight. It does help with a lot of articulation for the wings. For the wings, for the actual peg joint where it attaches to, you're not gonna get too much articulation. You get this little moving joint right here, and then obviously since it is just a regular peg joint, you can get 360 rotation like that if you just do that. So overall, articulation isn't the worst thing imaginable. And that is also the wrong, that was the wrong wing. So yeah, overall, articulation isn't the worst thing on this kit. It could definitely be a lot better. And I think honestly, if like even with the limited leg movement, if the arms or if the hands had like the pegs to hold onto this Buster rifle, this set would definitely be like would be like worth it more, just like, especially with the price being $40 for this MG, and it has really good details, to be honest, in my opinion. Like if this kit had better arms, this would be a much better kit, but obviously it doesn't. So I'd say overall I'd probably rate it a like 5 out of 10 in terms of articulation, build experience, and accessories, all of that. Like 5 out of 10. It is a pretty good kit though. I do like this. I do really like this kit. Just because Wing Gundams are always... I don't have that many Wing Gundams, but they typically are my favorite kits. Like they just look so awesome. I really want a heavy arms MG. Now we'll just go to the extra parts that you get. So you just get one extra beam saber, and then you obviously just get these extra poly caps. So it doesn't really come with too much with it, which is kind of sad, but you're not gonna get too much. It's not really like a kit bash. You're not gonna kit bash this kit, So overall pretty good. Now I'll try and cut in a time-lapse version of the transformation, and then I'll also show what the transformation looks afterwards. Okay, so now I'm done with the transformation. Hopefully the actual video, the time lapse of the transformation was decent enough But now I did forget to talk about the fork before I transformed it. And this is what I'm talking about. So as you can see, there's no adapter piece like you would see in modern master grades. And you would have to use a non-included fork piece. And there's no included stand at all with the kit. So you have to put the fork piece inside its pelvis, or its little area right there, like that. And as you can see, it limits articulation when you're pushing it in. So this is the most closed you can have the legs. And then when you're trying to widen them, they can only go that much, as you can see. And if I take this out, it gets a little bit more. So obviously it's not a crazy difference, but it is a difference with a kit, and especially with a kit that is already pretty badly articulated on the leg joint, on the like hip joint. It is a very difficult thing to do, and this is honestly why I'm going to leave the kit in its transform mode, just because it's this, you don't really, you're gonna get very limited poses with this kit, honestly. So I'm just gonna leave it like this, just because it looks a lot cooler in my personal opinion than the actual version, especially since you're not gonna get that many poses out of it. But yeah, so overall, I will say this kit is probably about, again, a 5, maybe 6 out of 10. I definitely recommend the newer versions more than this old Ver.Ka, just because of how limited it is in its technology. So again, if you want to buy this kit, obviously up to you. It's $40, but personally, I would just say get a newer version. And I hope all of you guys enjoyed the video, and just tell me what kit you want me to review next out of any of these kits. As you can see right here, any of these that you want me to review, except for any of those real grades, like the Akatsuki, this gold frame, and this Quant you see right here. I don't really want to review real grades, like especially old real grades. If it's like a new real grade, then I'll be completely fine doing it, because I actually have a couple real grades down here. There's 3 right there, which you can't see. You can only see the one box, but there are 3 right there. They're all the new Impulse P-Bondi ones. So I will be uploading reviews of those. But any other kits that you guys want me to review on here, long style, just tell me. I'll do that, and I'll try and post a short review on my TikTok as well of that same kit. So if you guys enjoyed, thank you. Like the video, comment down below, and see you guys next time.